It's Scott, and this is what we're going to look at today. This lick that I came up with is based out of the E blues scale, and so let's begin. Here's my low E. All right, to talk you through this, we go to the A string. It's open A, 2nd fret on the A string, open D, back to open A, 2nd fret A string, 1st fret A string, open A string, 3rd fret on the low E. So let's play that out slow. Again. Then to finish it out, to round it out, it's open A, 2, 3 on the low E. Pull off from the 3rd fret on the E to open, and then catch the top 2 strings open. Now the way I actually execute that is it's an up strum on those 2 top strings. So let's play this whole thing in its entirety. Okay. Now what I want to add to this is I'm going to play some of the parts that lead up to this main riff in this piece. I open this up with a bass note walk on the low, on the A string, to bring it from A up to the B7. Now what I'm doing is I'm playing what we call an emptied out 7th chord. I'm not playing a full B7 chord. I'm just playing it on the A string, D and G string, so we have 2, 1, 2. That's our frets. So it begins now what I'm going to do, and again I'm going to be playing the notes that I use here, maybe not identically and with the same, you know, rhythm and groove to it, but I want to just basically show you what I'm doing. If you want to play along with this, great, you know, dial it into, you know, to all the little nuances and how I'm playing it. But my recommendation is, and this is what I do as a player, I learned this years ago from Randy Rhoads in an article that I read in Guitar World back in, I think, had to be in the 80s, where he would learn other solos, but not note for note. He would just take them and then make them his own. And I've heard that concerning Slash. I've read so many articles, and that's how a lot of these guys do it. Well, I kind of, you know, I'm thinking, hey, they're a lot farther than I am, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And that's actually how you begin to develop your own style, develop your own your taste and flavor, and so that's what I'm recommending here. Now, what I'm actually doing is I'm doing that little bass note walk on the A string. Now, the beginning of this, I walk it from a B7 and then it comes up to a C7, emptied out. It's the same shape. It just moved from, now it goes up to 3, which is your root on the A is a C note. 3, 2, 3. So what I wanted to do, instead of just, you know, go, Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but that wasn't the effect I wanted. I wanted a few more licks in there. See, one of the things I've learned, learning blues, rocking the blues, is more my, I like more of the Texas style, the Stevie Ray Vaughan style on up to the heavier blues. That's kind of the style I really like. And I have fun almost more playing the rhythms than I do the leads when they've got all these cool bass note runs and such, okay? So that's was my thinking when I was putting this together. So I'm going to walk it up to the chord, then I want to take and do a bass note run down to connect it from the B to the C. So thus is where I came up with. And then there's that. To the low E, slide. It's almost like a quarter step bend, not much. And then I just pull off and catch the top two strings. Now, what is cool about this is instead of just leaving it there and just go playing an E7 chord like this, here's another tip. If all you know how to do is play power chords, your vocabulary is very limited. And I had that slung up in my face reading a theory book a few years ago. And so they said if all you know how to do is play power chords, you're limited, and you're not going to be able to go as far as if you understand chord structures and be able to play open chords and you know, more of the 4 note chords and such. When you begin to do that, then it begins to open up doors, and I'm going to show you right here what I do. Once I pull off, then I come into. Now this combination I just played here is an E7. Can you hear it? Many times you'll hear licks like. You know, just stuff like that. Well, what I do is, once I pull off in this piece, I'm playing there, a dyad, just a two note chord. Actually, it's a part of the E7 chord. It's 4, G, 3 on the B. So we have. Then what I do is I bring in and arpeggiate the A at the 5th fret, and then I drop it down to an actual, this is an E7, just played out on the G, the B, and the high E string. So that's where I kind of came up with that beginning. Now, if you notice, see how I'm letting instead of choking off the notes, I'm letting them ring, and then I'm playing notes over it, which really gives it that bigger sound, and brings it right into the E7 chord. Now, what's neat about this is, from that point, I go into the main rhythm. Here's our lick. Okay. Now, just to show you what I'm doing there is I'm actually now taking an E minor harmony, playing the low E, or the E note, which is the root at the 7th fret on the A string, and then I'm playing on the G string at the, the D string at the 5th fret, which is a G note. So E, G together give you what we call a minor third harmony. So I wanted something like this. I didn't want to. I wanted a little more of that kind of effect. So that's why it's important to learn, you know, chord inversions and more than just the power chord. So basically, in a nutshell, this is what we're going to do today. I'm just throwing out ideas as far as how I actually played. These are notes that I actually used to play this piece. And, you know, but I want to get a little more into the teaching aspect here on throwing out tips and ideas. Because that's what's going to help you. I can just say, okay, go to this fret, go to this fret, go to this fret. But I feel what's going to help you if you're truly, you know, looking to ramp it up and take it to the next level, there is some theory you do need to learn. And there's a lot of lessons on YouTube for theory. I recommend, you know, I read Hal Leonard books. I read various theory books throughout my, you know, my career on this guitar playing it. And man, I learned a ton. And one of the best definitions of theory is a vehicle for creativity. Isn't that cool? A vehicle for creativity. So anyway, I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to play this through one more time for you. Have fun with it, and you know, come up with your own, you know, heavy blues jams. And here we go. See you next time.